Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand that we're debating new clause 6 as the
That's exactly
current,
what I just
current
said,
debate.
yes.
That's just what he said. I was busy reading the clause, and so I didn't want to get it wrong right from the beginning. So I want to just have a few questions for the member just regarding clarification of how she arrived at some of the provisions in this particular new clause. The new clause replaces 16 weeks with 22 weeks for those effectively who give birth to two or more children as a result of one pregnancy, so twins or triplets, or even more than that, or if it's a premature baby, so born before 37 weeks of gestation, and finally for where they have an impairment that would entitle them to a government-funded disability support service. What I would like to really ask particularly is around government-funded disability support services, and I wonder whether the member in charge could clarify for me what some of those support services would be, and in fact whether by increasing the period of paid parental leave, whether that's actually likely to have any impact on the government-funded support services that they might get, because if some of them are have a range of various support services might have a range of tests that one has to meet in order to get them, and whether in fact extending paid parental leave could result in fact someone not being eligible because of the fact that they get paid parental leave and thereby disqualifying them from getting paid parental leave, if you like. So I just wanted to get some perhaps an explanation from the member in charge that we wouldn't be doing that with this clause, because I'd hate a situation where we created a circular problem that made it impossible for somebody to qualify under that particular provision. And so perhaps I don't know this area very well, so some explanation of what the sort of disability support services that might be available I think would be very helpful to the House. I think that the provisions extending the paid parental leave for those who have premature babies and for those who have multiple births is a very sensible one. It will significantly reduce the cost of this bill, of this legislation, and I think that while I personally would like to see the House spending more money on providing financial support to parents with new babies, I want to congratulate the member for the steps that she has taken to try and get some compromise with the government, and I wonder whether in fact she could elaborate on the steps taken to try and achieve that, so that we can actually have some surety that these particular amendments will be able to succeed, because as I said, while it wouldn't be my first choice to reduce the number, I personally support the original intention of the legislation, which was 26 weeks paid parental leave for all newborn children. It does raise, they do raise some wider issues, and I think one of the questions really should be whether in fact those who fall into this category, so have multiple births or who have children with disabilities or who have premature babies, should even, once we get to that point of 26 weeks of paid parental leave, whether in fact the overall concept of paid parental leave should be changed to reflect those additional needs and the additional costs that those families are likely to face. So I think it's raised an interesting debate that might be picked up further down the track, because I think those are quite interesting issues. I think that I suspect they probably didn't, or maybe they did come up earlier on during the debate, and the member in charge might be able to elaborate on those further for us. So I'll leave my questions at that. Those are some, the first one certainly is a relatively technical question that I'd quite like to hear from the member in charge of the bill on.